Should we just not do any intro music and just go right to the weeping?
There's no need for intro music. What are we introing? Heartache.
Get this man
pain,
some help.
misery.
Stop it. Get some help. A Blazers podcast.
We should have like slowed this down, like just the tempo, so it's like it turns into a sad song. Oh. Welcome back to Get This Man Some Help, your Blazers podcast hosted by two sad dads.
Just the saddest.
The saddest dads. Sean, the Blazers, since we last talked, have lost 2 games in which they led by 15 points or more. Now, they are just the 3rd team in the last 20 postseasons to lose consecutive home playoff games in which they led by 15 points or more.
That's a great stat. I'm assuming the other 2 teams came back and won the series.
Yeah, both of them came back.
That's what happened.
And won the series.
Sure.
Well, no, there is actually a silver lining here. The last team that this happened to was last year's Boston Celtics.
Oh,
and I don't know if you're keeping track of what happened to the Boston Celtics this year.
Sure.
Positive things.
Is that the same Celtics organization that has historically for the past 20 seasons been like one of the best places to work in the NBA? Is that
that's the same one?
Same boss. Okay, I just want to.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
Yeah.
Whose owners are not currently selling all the office furniture at auction. Okay,
that is correct. Yes.
Okay. I'm just okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
So a couple things I want to just briefly go through. For game 3, I watched it at local Portland establishment Maui's.
Sure, you bet.
By the way, sitting in a bar to watch a game, that's a long time to be in a bar.
It is a long time to be in a bar.
And yeah. As I realized that, I also realized Father Time comes for us all. Because that used to not seem like a long time to sit in a bar. Sure. I was fine with it. And now I was sitting there in the bar, eating a burrito, having exactly 2 beers, because after 2 beers I felt very full, thinking to myself, I wish this seat had a backrest.
Yeah.
Thinking to myself, why are there so many people here?
Yeah, sure.
And I realized, it's just not for me. It's not for me anymore.
Yeah. And for those who maybe are not from the Portland area, when my friend here says he's sitting at a bar eating a burrito, that each bar in Portland is effectively like a little gourmet restaurant. So this was not like a microwave burrito. This was like a full real thing. That's the Portland food scene. That's how they get you. It's basically there's all bars with.
Well, actually, this one is notorious for not having good food. So you go out and you get the food and you bring it in.
Oh, is that right? So you ordered the gourmet food into
So I brought and this burrito was the size of a baby. As I was walking back, I held both of the burritos for my friend and I. Just cradled them in my, just kept them warm.
Boy, this team can't move to Boise quick enough, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Good news, I guess.
So, for a couple things. The game 3 thing, we looked like we were in control. Wemby's not playing. Scoot starts off with yet another great first half. He is feeling good. He's talking his stuff. Yeah. And there's a play where the Spurs have come back into the game, and Scoot decides, I am going to take this over. So he goes down to the right block, and he gets past Dylan Harper. Scoot always wants to go right. I don't know if he doesn't feel great with his left hand. He seems like the kind of guy who has a good handle, but when he's in those positions where he wants to assert his dominance, he's going right. So he goes right, and he gets around Dylan Harper, and he lays it in. And then he has some words for Mr. Harper. And enough words, in fact, that they assess him a technical foul. Robert Williams is over there on the bench, smiling. Robert Williams is loving it. Everybody's loving it. But from that point on, it sort of flicked a switch in Dylan Harper. And Dylan Harper proceeded to systematically suck Scoot's soul out of his nose and devour it in front of him like that weird paint. You know that painting, the Goya painting, where the guy was like, that was what Dylan Harper was doing to Scoot's soul. Because Scoot has not been the same since then. And
flawless victory. As
just an incredible
video game would say,
aura farming. Like, just like took it all.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching that. I saw that exact same play, and I said, "Oh no, I don't know if that's what you want to do." young Scoot. I don't know if you're quite there yet, because it's clear that Dylan Harper took it very personally, and he went absolutely nuclear.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephon Castle also, I think, took that very personally, and also, I mean, didn't have the gaudy stats, but I mean, you could tell, as you said, they flipped a switch and said, you know what, there's a reason we've been effectively the number 2 seed in the West the entire season.
Right.
And there's a reason why you guys barely tripped in through a play-in game. I guess we'll have to show you.
Yes.
And it was really, the San Antonio Spurs are quickly becoming a great team to hate because they are good and they're young and they know it. I was texting with a friend who said, every bump and bruise, every slight, every sort of Drew pulling the chair out from Wemby and him hurting himself, every Scoot Henderson getting teed up for talking trash, like everything that happens in this series is going to lend itself to opposing teams for the next 10 years crying in the locker rooms after losing the NBA Finals to the Spurs.
Right.
Like the Spurs are just sort of adding that scar tissue and they're just sort of tattooing all these slights on there.
Yeah.
And they're already playing like they're just constantly being disrespected. Just crazy.
Yeah.
It's just, they became a monster.
To that, I mean, to that point, they, it was tempting for me to say, well, Scoot's young, and he's going to get in over he's going to get into deep water sometimes and threat. But then I'm like, Dylan Harper and Steph Castle are both younger than him.
Yeah.
Wemby's the same age as him.
Yeah.
And they are taking the moment in a way. So Scoot is fearless. Right now, Scoot is fearless when he's playing well.
Sure.
And when he's not playing well, he no longer is fearless.
Yes, the aura sort of, because here's the thing. When you play for the San Antonio Spurs, you get an immediate confidence buff.
Yeah.
Right? You got Tim Duncan and David Robinson sitting there. You got Greg Popovich popping in for some, fatherly wisdom. You have the best organization maybe in pro sports. Like, you walk into the stadium the first day of the playoffs and your entire crowd is color-coded. They've all coordinated their outfits. You have a certain, it's like a plus 10 confidence boost. Plus, you walk on the court and you've got, Victor Wembanyama. And he's a guy, kind of like Steph, where you walk in, you see him at, going to tip the ball or, doing the opening tip-off. And you think, as long as this guy's on the court, we have a chance. Because look at him.
Look at him.
Look at him.
Look at this fellow.
So, I just think the Spurs, and it's kind of been all season long, they have lived in sort of a perpetual, almost unearned confidence, and they've kind of like grown into the unearned confidence, and that's
there's always
what
that
makes you a number 2 seed.
Yeah,
is you're super confident and also super good.
Yeah, there's always that transition period between saying the right things and doing the right things. And for a while, it was the Thunder, right? The Thunder were saying all the right things, but you sort of like couldn't take them so seriously because they're like total nerds and they're like really goofy.
Yeah.
And then they put it together and they look inevitable now. Mm-hmm. And the Spurs are the same way. Like I don't want to read like another article being about, Wemby's not like these other superstars. Wemby really wants to learn, like really wants to win. He won't take the All-Star game off. He reads books before games. He goes to the temple during the offseason.
Sure.
And all of that is annoying until it actually pays off and you prove that you can do the thing that you've been talking about for so long.
Sure.
And the Spurs are just doing the thing, and you just have to tip your cap. Like there was nothing we could do with them. It wasn't like, hey, this game is being officiated terribly. No. The Spurs just knew exactly what they wanted to do, and it came down to a personnel like equation where it was like,
listen,
they had very good players
in there putting up all-star numbers on you. When Luke Cornett is legitimately handing you your ass, you're in trouble. I mean. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Luke Cornett's a good player. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, he's a solid backup player.
I mean, they Blazers have just, and I will say this: there was a pathway for them to win both of those games. Like, what I mean? But this is the difference between teams learning how to win and winning teams: is you learn how to be consistent and you learn how to not panic and you learn how to. I give the Blazers their game plan has been, I think, very creative and very like starting Drew Holiday off on Wembanyama. Most coaches would not even think about that. But I mean, and it kind of worked. You know, they were kind of getting some traction on that. But yeah, I just think it, you know, as the game progressed, you could see that there was one team that is the number 2 seed and has been all year, and then there's another team who is still trying to figure things out. And this is kind of what that looks like.
So there was one team who had a functional offense, and there was another team that just doesn't have an offense. They have a man named Deni Avdija. And
Yes,
and he is an offense in a lot of ways, but like you saw the limitations of that.
Yeah.
And like I was listening to like Mike Richmond talk about this and talk about the Spurs have all these pet actions, right? So if things are going wrong, they have these really simple little offensive sets where they can go to and then get themselves going.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about like, does Thiago have a single one of these things? Like defensively, I think we're actually doing really well with the Spurs.
Yes.
But like offensively, like my mom watched the game. I was watching the game with my mom, and my mom was like, "Oh, like so the Spurs are just going to roll through the entire playoffs." And I said, "Well, maybe." But also, like they're going to play teams that have functional offenses, and when that happens, you'll actually see what they can do. Because when we started to get tight, we had nowhere to go.
It's been so frustrating because there are times where the Blazers are locked in, and you know they're locked in because the ball is flying around, right? Because when you have a player like Deni that can command a double team or a triple team every time he gets past the 3-point line, yes, he can finish some of those, but the ball should be, somebody's going to be open, right? We've talked about this, I don't know how many times back when it was Dame was the man looking for help. If your guy's getting triple teamed, somebody's open somewhere, and you just got to move the ball around and find it. Wemby makes that a little more difficult, you know, because he can cover so much ground so quickly, and I get that. But yeah, there were so many plays where I just thought, man, if you guys had maybe made a couple extra passes instead of just, I'm kind of open, let me throw it up there and see what happens, you know? And I just, you know, like Tumani, he had his moments where that shot was falling. And sure, when you're on, hey, listen, I'm the first guy that says when you're feeling it, go for it. You know what I mean? But he took a lot of inadvisable shots, a lot of shots where he was not in his, not feeling it, and just kind of like, I'm just going to fake it till you make it. And you can't do that in a playoff game against the number 2 seed. Drew Holiday, again, we've talked about this many times, a great bad shot maker, but man, some of those decisions were just, it reminded me almost of watching my kid play with his 3rd and 4th grade basketball team for the first time. Just a lot of like, why would I pass when I can shoot? You know, like, why would I even consider passing if I can shoot the ball right here? Look, the hoop's right there. These other guys in front of me don't matter. I got the ball and there's the hoop. That, you know. And yeah, I just, they get lost and they panic and they start playing hero ball, and you can't, I mean, when your shot is falling, okay, that's fine. But as we've talked about, you're not going to win a best of 7 series against a great team, just hoping and praying. And that's kind of what their offense has been, just kind of hoping and praying.
Right. And I mean, I guess I could push back a little bit on the Drew Holiday thing. Like statistically, he didn't have a terrible shooting night. He was 6 for 13. He was the only person to make like a positive, like free 3-point but the shots were forced a lot of time. They were 1-on-1. They were soloing, and I get it because they're on one hand, like the team defense of the Spurs was ratcheted up so much that they were picking up passes left and right. And so at some point you think to yourself, why would I pass the ball? You know, maybe the best offense is me just going solo on this, but like you can't let them dictate what you're doing. You have to stick with what your strength is.
No.
And like that run that you saw where we went up by 18 or 19 points was the ball was whipping around. And the reason why I was whipping around, the reason why I was opening up is because we were actually making 3-point shots. We ended the game shooting 33% from 3. Like you can't do that. Like we shoot so many of them and we miss so many of them, and they're bad misses. They are long rebounds. They lead to fast break points on the other end. And you know, Deni is doing yeoman's work. He's doing hero stuff down there, and he's getting people open looks. Open, you know, and Donovan. You know, poor Donovan. You know, you want him to shoot, but like he was 1 for 6 from 3-point. It's like those are possessions that it's like. I mean, you honestly like. What if you swapped out Donovan's minutes for like Duop Reith, and Duop goes, you know, 3 for 6 on those 3-pointers? Like it's just a different game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Donovan brings more than the shooting numbers.
No, I know, I realize that.
But yeah, I listen. You got to make shots at the end of the day. You got to make shots, and like there are a player can make bad shots, but everyone should be looking for good shots. You know what I mean? And the Blazers they just took a lot of just really bad. And also, I do want to point out, and it's something I've been watching, and it's been kind of like, it's taken me a while to kind of like track it, I guess. But the Blazers are a really bad passing team.
Yeah.
In the sort of literal senses, they make a lot of really terrible passes.
Yeah.
Like a lot of foolish, just kind of like Bush League passes. Yeah. Like grabbing the ball and like trying to do a jump pass before you cross half court and stuff like that. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's just like that's like high school drills.
Yeah.
To get you out of that.
Yeah.
See, I can understand like, well, the passing's not working because we're not very good at passing. Well, especially against a good ball hawking team. Like, I understand.
You had Drew Holiday and Deni Avdija combined for 11 turnovers.
Boy, Deni does. I mean, listen, he's all NBA, blah blah blah. But yeah, some of the passes are just like, what?
Yeah,
I guess that's like you wouldn't get away with that in a rec league. Like, what are you doing, man? You know.
I think the saddest thing for me isn't that we're going to lose the series. I never thought we were going to win it. The saddest thing for me is I just want nice things for Scoot Henderson.
Sure.
And he was awful in Game 4.
No points.
He was terrible. I mean, aside from the offense thing, which is, really atrocious, 0 for 7, 0 for 7.
Yeah.
His defense was lazy and gambly. Like he put Deni and Tumani in a bunch of bad situations because he gambled on weird steals or like he wouldn't make the switch when he was supposed. And then the defense breaks down and it looks like like Tumani or whatever has egg on his face, but it's Scoot making that first action and not doing it well. And
he was embarrassed. He was embarrassed, and he played like he was embarrassed. Like he went sort of like what are the kids? He was crashing out basically. I mean, and this is something you see in the 40 over league a lot. You take a bad shot, you make a bad shot, you immediately try to like steal the inbounds pass and try to chase the guy down. Like that's kind of how he played that entire Game 4.
Most of 2025 was me in that funk.
Well, sure. I mean, it happens. It happens. But that's the thing is you don't want your, starting point guard to be acting like, the kind of weird guy from the 40 and over game.
I know.
And that's kind of what it was. I mean, the good news is, again, he is experiencing big time basketball for the first time in his career. This is not like his career's over sort of thing, but it is like, okay, now you have to learn. Now you have to like, the hardest part of this is you're going to have to go into the film room and you're going to have to watch how terrible you looked. And you're going to have to sit with that and own that and figure out, okay, what in the hell was I doing? How was I feeling? And what can I do to not ever do this particular thing ever again? And that's tough. That is tough at any age, at any place in your career to have to sort of absorb the entirety of your failure. But that's what he's going to have to do and try to get past it.
And I don't want to lose the trees for the forest, or I don't know lose the forest for the trees. But like, if you look at, there's been 4 games played and Scoot played 2.5 really good games and 1.5 pretty bad games. But the way that the narrative is unfolding, where he talks his shit and then gets absolutely shut down, and then the next game comes out and has absolutely nothing for you.
Yeah.
That's the thing where I'm like, I mean, I understand unevenness. So I really, really hope that on Tuesday he comes out and has some of that swagger and stuff, because it doesn't matter if you can be cocky when you're up. You have to have that when you're down. Like, you have to have that belief and you have to have that in you. So we'll see. I mean, Dame was always the best at this, right? Like he was
no
always
memory.
No memory
exactly.
And you want Scoot to goldfish this so hard.
Yeah.
And you want him to be able to go into San Antonio and just, because you have Victor on the bench yelling out in his sweet French smile, "We would have swept you guys if I hadn't got concussed," which is like, yeah, maybe that's true. But do I trash talk my 9-year-old son? No, I don't. Even though I beat him at basketball, it's like, come on, you're the number 2 seed. You're supposed to be doing this.
Wood to him, even though I crush him every time.
Yeah, every time. Okay. Anyway, the other thing that was sort of sad to me. What's going on with Shaden? What's his trajectory here?
Oh man, I don't know.
It's a lot of like movement and not a lot of reward. And during the season, if you had me guess like which player is going to end up being more impactful, Scoot or Shaden, I'd say Shaden like 100% of the time.
Yep.
And he looks like such an afterthought. He can't do anything, like anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It would be interesting to kind of see like the coaches read on that, like exactly what they're seeing in practice versus what they're seeing in the games. Because I think even the national commentators are like, this kid has way too much talent to not be a bigger factor in the game. You know what I mean? Anyone who's kind of watched Portland, even sporadically through the season when he was playing, the talent is apparent. You know, when you get Dwayne Wade being like, man, he makes everything look really easy. You know, that's a pretty huge compliment from a guy who knows a little something about making playing basketball look easy, you know? And so, yeah, there is this kind of like, what's going on? Like, it's not a skill issue. It's not a talent issue. I know that he's still on minutes restrictions. Is his leg still bothering him? I don't know, but I would love to get kind of an honest sort of in-depth internal scouting report on exactly, like, is it a mental thing? Is it he just doesn't know kind of like where to be? Are they not running enough stuff for him? I don't know, but he is getting lost in everything, and it's really kind of weird to see because, like I said, the talent's there. You just this guy should be scoring 22 points a night like it's nothing. You know what I mean? It just even off the bench, it shouldn't because he can do it. We've seen him do it before. See, I don't know. It is a mystery. It was actually, I was kind of sitting there after the game, like, what happened to him? Like, what do they need to do to get this man going? Because, man.
Yeah, I'll be curious to know if it's an injury thing or what's going on with that. But
there's no reason that he should not be going head to head with Stephon Castle.
Yeah.
Like he should be the equalizer for Stephon Castle.
He should be taking
Stephon Castle out.
He should be taking that personally, and defensively he was really bad. And I mean, to the point where Tiago Splitter was like yelling like the F word on the court, pulling him out of the thing. And it's tough. It's tough. And I think like the frustrating thing is like none of this was a surprise. Like after they won game 2, the Spurs literally said, we're going to just out physical them in game 3. Like, and they even asked Scoot about it. Like, oh, they say they're going to like be more physical with you. And he's like, oh, you got to be ready for that. And it's like, oh, did you guys just like, and then they show him in game 3, this is how we're going to do it. And they're like, oh, and then in game 4, they're like, wait, what? Like you guys are going to be, you're going to be bullies with us? Like what?
Doing all the old stuff again? Okay.
And I'm just like, come on, guys. All right. So the towels. So we didn't get t-shirts. We got towels, Sean. Now, did you know that we had towels? If you hadn't read social media, would you know that we had towels?
I'd have no idea.
Do you know what you might have noticed?
What's that?
T-shirts.
I probably would have noticed t-shirts, yeah.
Yeah, everyone wearing the same color t-shirt.
Yeah, or even, a few different color t-shirts.
We can't do that. That's an upcharge. You know that. You know that. You add another colorway, it's another charge. I was
texting a friend who lives on the East Coast, and there's this weird weird juxtaposition of we're finally back in the playoffs, we're finally playing good basketball, and just knowing that the sort of oncoming enshittification of our team is sort of coming in here. It's very much like this is the last day you're going to go outside and play with your friends type of feeling. You know what I mean? Like this is our last hurrah, and then things are going to get just kind of bad. And it's just kind of a bummer to like watch, because like this is it kind of for this. Good chance this coach is not coming back. Good chance this team is going to be broken up, and I just want them to have a better showing. I know they're not going to beat the Spurs, but at least you don't want to see them have a 32-point swing or whatever the hell it was.
Listen, anybody in the NBA. Anybody in the NBA can be anybody else. So I'm not counting us out for game 6, game 5,
okay.
Game 5.
Game 5, yeah.
And, I won't lie, like watching games 3 and 4, I really wanted to prove Wemby wrong. I really wanted to say, hey, listen, we made it tough on you guys and we're the number 2 seed.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Okay, so you texted me after the game and hey, Spurs are quickly becoming a very hateable team. Okay, so I think, hey, let's rank the Spurs hateability attributes. Okay, I'm going to give you some attributes that make them potentially hateable. Because there's nothing like a little rivalry, right?
Sure.
And for as inevitable as the Thunder and the Spurs seem, we used to think that about the Warriors too.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up with what, 3-4 titles? Like, but they weren't like a decade-long thing, right? So there is going to be time where parity happens, right?
Okay.
So here's where we can kind of hang our hat on until that happens, okay? Hateable Spurs, and these are just random. They're not ranked yet, all right? So we're going to work through the ranking here. Okay. First thing that makes them hateable, the draft luck, okay? You get Wemby. The next year you get Stephon Castle. The next year you get the number 2 pick and you get Dylan Harper.
Yeah.
Draft luck. Mitch Johnson's eyes. Very watery.
Sure.
Every time you look at him, it looks like he's just about to cry or maybe about to take a big poop or something. His eyes are a little watery. Okay.
The thing about it, I actually very much take Mitch Johnson personally. I don't like his pretty eyes. I don't like his full hairline. I don't like the fact that he's the head coach of the Spurs at 39 or whatever it is. To me, you can stop there.
Okay.
I can facilitate a healthy amount of hatred as long as that man is the head coach or as long as he's the head coach. And because it's San Antonio, he'll probably be the head coach for the next 25 years.
We're gonna die, and Mitch Johnson will still be the coach.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay. The Spurs propaganda machine. So the Spurs have this whole aura. It's almost like the new Heat culture, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's like, hey, everybody's in the Spurs family. Look at the sidelines. There's Tim Duncan laughing with Mount Nugent. Man, his kids. And it's like everybody still lives in San Antonio. They meet up for dinners. It's annoying. Okay.
Okay. Can I just say something?
Yeah.
That I think maybe San Antonio could potentially make the case that the Heat are the new Spurs culture. I'm just going to throw that out.
Okay, sure.
Because the Spurs have been great for a long time.
They have.
Yeah.
Which
also makes me want to hate them.
There you go.
Much more. Yeah.
Okay. The way that Wemby moves. He's always just like one like slight shift away from falling, and then it's just like a pile of needles.
See, you just said this thing about Mitch Johnson, and now I feel like I'm going to have to backtrack and say, okay, well, wait a minute, maybe now. Because I have always hated watching him move because it's just not right. And I don't know how else to explain that. It's a very sort of early AI hallucination mixed with baby giraffe. I'm very resentful of it. I just want him to stop moving like that.
Yeah.
Wemby, stop it.
Okay. Stephon Castle.
Sure.
Just constantly doing this thing where he bumps into you.
Yeah.
He's very reckless with his head.
Yeah.
I think he does that hairstyle because he knows he's going to get a lot of head impact.
Yeah, sure.
And it's a cushion.
Extra cushion, sure.
He had that whole thing with Deni where their literal game plan is to be super physical. Yeah. And then when we're physical back, he gets so offended that he's like shoves the ball in the chest. It's like, dude, if you can give it, you got to take it a little bit. And he's just very hateable.
Castle has the energy he has is kind of like the other blonde villain from the Karate Kid movie. Not the guy that Daniel LaRusso fought in the tournament, but the other mouthy one who was on the sideline who was just kind of a dick. You know what I mean? Dutch from Karate Kid.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay. He's got that kind of energy. He's not the main antagonist. He's just that kind of opportunistic, annoying antagonist, sort of piggybacking on the main antagonist. Which is the worst kind.
Which brings me to my last attribute.
Okay.
The Spurs are hateable because they are indeed not hateable. Because they did everything the right way. Oh, God. They are a great organization. I would love to have Steph Castle on my team.
Of course you would.
I would love to have Wemby on my team.
Of course you would.
I would very much love to have Dylan Harper on my team.
Of course you would.
Mitch Johnson, by all accounts, very nice man. Great Popovich. Great politics. Stands up for what's right.
Sure.
The Spurs are an organization that's well run. They're a small market team, and they're getting it done. They're actually not hateable. They are the heroes, and that's the way the twist comes, John. Because we are hating them because they are the people, the organization that we wish we were.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the root of most hate, isn't it? Jealousy, envy. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you had a choice, if you could sort of remodel your sports franchise off of any single other organization, I mean, yeah, it would be the Spurs. And the thing about it, I guess the thing that makes it so upsetting is they know it.
Yeah.
That's what you've seen over the past 2 games is they know exactly who they are and exactly how bad you are and exactly how much you want to be them. And they're just letting you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Why? I mean,
because you ain't me.
yeah. For many years, I hated on Disneyland.
Oh.
Then I took my kids to Disneyland, and I was like, they are the happiest they've ever been. Maybe this isn't a terrible place.
And then you just ran up to Mickey Mouse and just started throwing money at him. Here, just take it.
Take it all. Take all my money.
Take it all. Take it all.
I don't need any of it.
Sign the house over to you. Just whatever.
The Spurs are Disneyland. I don't know what to say. They are very good at basketball.
Yeah.
Even the Stephon Castle like ball in the chest. I loved it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry because you know what he did that Scoot didn't do. He put the ball in his chest. He got chippy, and then he continued to play good basketball.
Well, let's see that's what kind of makes it, doesn't it? Yeah. He did all the trash talking and almost got better as the game went on. Yeah. I mean, Dylan Harper.
He had this play where he
had so many plays.
This one was crazy to me because he faked Scoot out of his sneakers on the corner on the long corner. He went around him and he got I think it was up against Robert Williams.
Yeah.
And he jumped up and like put the ball around the side of him and dunked it. And I was just like, you have this and coming off the bench in his first year?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when they drafted. Oh, how are they going to manage that? Now they're going to. Well, it's easy. It's easy when you're that great. You don't have to worry too much. You just put them in and let them play basketball, and you're going to be okay. And even the lesser Spurs, like Keldon Johnson, and was it Devin Castle? I mean,
Champagne was going nuts.
You can't get big dogged by a guy whose last name is Champagne. You just can't. You can't. It's like laws. It's like in the UN Charter.
Keldon Johnson was getting it on the fun.
Oh my God!
So
like I said, Luke Cornett tore them up. Luke Cornett legitimately tore them up. You don't even have to worry about. They're going to start Kelly Olynyk next game. That's how confident the Spurs are. You know what, boys? Take the night off. Kelly's got it. Kelly Olynyk showed up in ankle socks the other night.
Yeah.
He wasn't even planning on playing.
Yeah.
Like, what do you even need me for? You kind of looked around and went, me? You know, they're going to start him.
I'm buying suits for you guys. 12. I thought that was my role. I was the atelier, I was the fashion guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Spurs are a great team. They're a great organization, and I hate them.
You know what? They're not hateable, which makes them hateable. No, it's a weird thing. You know
it's bad. You know it's bad when you're sitting there and you're watching Deni get sort of, pushed around by Stephon Castle, and he kind of does like one of these, you're like, he's Braveheart or something. Like, I'm taking this moral victory.
Wemby is like literally the perfect superstar to root for. He like brings a book and reads a book. I love books. Makes my life. He goes to temple.
Sure. Listen, this is so we have to kind of put this in perspective. Yeah, he seems like a nice kid. He seems like he's interesting. He likes to read. He's got the accent. He's very bendy and flexible and the whole thing. All these things. But you know the sort of defining characteristics. He's 7'4" with point guard skills. Like, all this up, I'm so tired of hearing all this. The man is unguardable when he wants to be. And plus, he doesn't even have his grown man body yet. Yeah. He is still baby Wemby. He is still toddler Wemby. In 3 years, he's going to run into the same problem that the writers of Superman comics have. Yeah. He's so invincible. He's so strong. He's so powerful. How can we make this compelling? Like, how can we even make this compelling? Like, who is even going to be able to be on the court with him and that you would take as a serious threat?
This is the most beatable they will ever be.
This is the most beatable they will ever be. And God bless them, the Blazers are not the team that's going to do that this year.
Okay, so before I get you out of here, that's one of my favorite podcast things. They're always like, I'm going to get you out of here on this.
Tremendous.
Okay, Sean, I'm going to get you out of here on this.
Okay.
What adjustments do you hope the Blazers make before tomorrow's game?
Okay. And I'm assuming new owner isn't going to work.
It's not feasible. It's not a feasible thing.
I would like to see Tiago just go for broke. Just whatever weird stuff is in his head, whatever he has always wanted to try, I want him to have the time of his life. I want him to just pull out all the stops, just get crazy, try any of the weird defenses, start 5-point guard lineup. You know what I mean? No, you know what I want to see? I want to see 34 minutes of Young Hansen. That's what I want to see.
That's not a real answer.
Well, I mean,
Young can't move.
Well, I mean,
he's getting there, but he's not an agile man,
brother. You had a 30-something point swing in a playoff game. I mean, come on.
This is what I want to do.
You got nothing to lose.
Here's my adjustment.
Okay.
You start City.
Okay.
That's a Frenchman on a Frenchman.
Okay.
They know each other. Okay.
Yeah.
And you tell City, listen, you've known Victor for forever. You've been playing in the French system for forever. Okay. Yeah. I want you just to whisper to him French things in French that you remember being like kind of embarrassed. Like, hey Victor, remember this?
I see.
But in French.
Okay.
And he's like, hey Victor, I got you escargot or something. Sure,
okay.
And just whisper to him in French the whole time. Kind of like a Lance Stevenson blowing in the ear of LeBron, but like a little like just one notch in.
Okay. Well, you remember what happened after he blew in LeBron's ear?
I don't. Okay. No, I don't think anything bad happened. Yeah, I don't think anything bad happened. And then it would be great if we get like Ryan back. Just like have tons of French people come in and just like talk to Victor in French.
And get him fired up in a second language.
Okay, yeah, that's true. It's like it's like double.
I mean, we just spent the entire episode
that's
talking
like double.
About
yeah.
What happened when Dylan Harper felt disrespected. So now we're going to disrespect Wemby in 2 languages. So he really understands the disrespect. So he really This
is what we do. This is what we do.
Plan.
Okay, we win game 5. Okay, so they have to come back to the Moda Center. Right?
Okay.
Tommy Dun. He really wants to save money.
Sure.
So we start to do some of that old school stuff, right?
Okay.
No hot water in the visitors' locker room.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
We put a little salt in their water.
Sure.
There's like, what is this? It tastes kind of weird.
Yeah.
We like lose their shoes.
Okay. Okay.
We put Vaseline on the floor in their locker room. We switch out the soap with Icy Hot. You know what I mean?
Sure, a little
just
bottles.
Just classic old school.
Yeah.
I remember like the Celtics and the Sixers way back in like 1954. It's like, they'd turn the heat up to like 78 or whatever to 103 degrees. We can't do that because we can't afford the heating bill.
You're telling Tiago, look, the hell with the game film. There's a Revenge of the Nerds DVD.
Yep. Yeah. You just need to just do as many pranks as you can. Like, get a pair of scissors and cut the crotch out of every single one of their underwear.
Okay, sure.
So,
all right. I mean, I don't think that's going to work with the French. I think that's kind of how they have all their underwear anyway. Just
we got Matt in English, Matt in French, and he's very comfortable.
Yeah, he listens.
There's a lot of airflow.
The French believe in freedom. Yeah, it's not just politics, brother. It's just freedom all over the place. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, man. It was a good run. We had our moments. Yeah, we played hard. We saw a lot of growth, some regression, a lot of growth. But I think Friday might be it.
You sound like Calabro at the last broadcast,
brother. I wish I could be. And see here again, you're letting me go on a sad note because I might never hear Kevin Calabro call a Portland Trailblazer game again. And now I'm
like what's really sad?
When he dropped his ice cream cone.
No, what's really sad though.
No.
You know what's really sad?
What's that?
We have an NBA draft coming up, and we will not be participating.
How many picks do we have in that?
We have some second-round picks.
Ooh, yay! Maybe we can trade those for more second-round picks.
Is it possible to move up to the first round from a second round? I would love that. If it's like, hey, there's a lottery's drawing, and you get like a 0.00001% chance.
Well, so the thing about it, the draft is my favorite thing in the entire world.
I know you don't get to participate this year.
I have to sit on the sidelines and watch the blessings for the other teams, and I mean the Blazers story is going to be, especially after this playoff run, what is the sort of market value on some of their assets? I have seen multiple reports now that we are going to make a hard push for Giannis. And I just think Giannis Antetokounmpo has gone through maybe the single most dysfunctional scene in the entire 25-26 NBA season. The thought that he would then parlay that into jumping on to the most dysfunctional team.
Ownership situation.
Yes.
The vibes are great.
Yeah.
But
he's gonna stay. Maybe it's when he's like a super codependent person and just needs to be surrounded by tire fires, you know what I mean, in order to get peak performance or whatever. But yeah, like what big splash are you gonna make now that they've been talking about your cheap ass owner on national TV for the past like 2 weeks?
You know who will shortly be available?
Who's
Kevin
that?
Durant.
Yeah. Well, great. You see the success he's brought to his various franchises since he left Golden State. You see the magic touch of Kevin. And I think Kevin Durant is legitimately a top 10 of all time player. He is an amazing player, but he's not much of a winner, as it turns out.
Yeah, I think you got to look at the Rockets as a cautionary tale because they were a feisty defensive team who was like, hey, if we make this move, we can get we can kind of bump up our timeline. All right, well, we're not going to get a draft pick. And we get to see Wemby one more time, at least, which is exciting.
Yeah,
if I can find the channel, I don't know if it's on Prime or NBC or ESPN or FS1.
Don't get me started on that.
All right. We don't have anybody special to play the close.
New theme music.
We could just do this.
Oh my God!
Thanks for coming, Starship. We'll see you. We'll see.
I'm an F1 fan now. This is now an F1 podcast.
I was going to ask you, how do you feel about football?
Yeah, World Cup. If we even have one of those anymore, let's give that a shot.
All right, I'll see you on Friday.
All right, everything's not terrible, guys.
Get this, man.
That's good. Yeah.
Stop it.
Hold your heads up.
Get some help. A Blazers podcast.